Whether you're just starting up or scaling your embroidery business, one question that every decorator will have to ask at some point: should you invest in a single head machine or invest in multi-head machines? But what if I told you that this is not an either-or answer? In fact, in today's episode of Apparel Academy, I'm going to explain to you exactly why you will need both single-head embroidery machines and multi-head machines in your embroidery shop to run a successful business. So stick around, because today's episode might just be what you're waiting for to take your business to the next level. Alright you guys, before we jump into today's video, if you're new to this channel, my name is Henry Ma. I'm the CEO of Ricoma, and this channel is dedicated to teaching you everything you need to know about the embroidery and custom apparel business so you can start and scale in this industry. Also, if you enjoy content like this and found this helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. Alright, with that said, before we jump into the reason why you will need both single head and multi-head embroidery machines, let's first give a quick overview of the differences between single heads and multi-head machines and what they're used for. Single head embroidery machines, as the name would suggest, only has a single embroidery head and can only embroider one item at a time. These machines are ideal for small-scale projects such as personalizing individual items for clients or even running testing for certain designs before they go into production. They're also great for people that are just starting out in the business and need a machine to get them going. On the other hand, multi-head embroidery machines have multiple heads and can embroider multiple items at the same time. Multi-head machines can range on the smaller end from 2, 4, and 6 heads all the way up to 8 and 12 heads. These machines are ideal for commercial use and large-scale mass production so that you can pump out orders more efficiently for these large orders. They are commonly used for creating bulk orders for businesses, such as making uniforms and different logos on hats and other items. One thing to note about multi-head machines is that while they're very efficient at creating and embroidering large bulk orders, they can only embroider one type of design at a time. It is a common misconception for a lot of beginners in the embroidery industry that having a multi-head machine will allow you to do different designs on each head. Instead, it all has to be the same design running at the same time. So now that you know the difference between single-head embroidery machines and multi-head embroidery machines, the biggest reason why these large and successful embroidery companies have both single-head machines and multi-head machines is to increase their production efficiency and to increase their versatility of their shop. These successful embroidery shops will use their single-head embroidery machines to do small batch orders, one-off samples, or even testing the design before going into production. Many times before the design goes into production, you want to test the design and show a sample to your client for approval. In the industry, we call this proofing, and it's a common practice to have the client approve the proof before it actually goes into production to avoid any mistakes and misunderstandings. On the other hand, they will leave their multi-head embroidery machines to run bulk orders and large volume orders. By having both types of machines in their shop, a business can handle a variety of orders and don't have to risk turning away orders because of capacity or constraints. Let me present you with this perfect example of why it's important to have both single heads and multi-heads in your embroidery shop. Let's say you get an order of 24 jerseys from a local baseball team. You're tasked with embroidering both the team's logo and the individual players' names on the back of the jerseys. Having a setup of both a single head and multi-head machines can be very helpful in this exact scenario. Because the individual players' names are different, but the team logos are the same across all of these jerseys, you can use your single head machines to embroider the players' names while using your multi-head machine to embroider the team's logo. This really keeps your production flowing while utilizing all of these machines all at once and can give you a faster turnaround time for your customer. On the other hand, imagine if you only had single head machines or you only had multi-head machines. If you remember back to the beginning of this video, I did mention that one nuance of multi-head machines, they can't do multiple and different designs at the same time, but they can do multiple items of the same design very efficiently. So when it comes time for you to actually embroider the players' jerseys, what will happen is you will actually have to turn off multiple heads of your multi-head machine and just leave 1 or 2 on to embroider those individualized names. Then you would take those designs that are finished off and then load new players' names into your control panel to be able to embroider those, and you have to repeat that process as many times as there are players' names. By turning off different heads of your multi-head machine, you are essentially turning your 4, 6, or or 8-head machine into a single head or 2-head machine when it comes to individualized items. That's not really a great efficient use of your investment on a multi-head machine, and therefore it is important to have a single head or a smaller machine lying around for this exact reason. This way you can embroider the team logo on your multi-head machine, and then as they're being finished, you can load them onto your single head machine to be able to embroider the individuals' names while the bulk order is still running on the team logos. In a similar vein, having both single head machines and multi-head machines in your embroidery shop will give you the option and versatility to offer more variety of offerings to your customers, so that if they come to you with an order such as the baseball jerseys example that I just mentioned, you don't have to turn that order away because you know that you don't have the capacity or the ability to fulfill such an order. It also gives you the option to take on both individualized and personalized small orders and have more profit margin on those because they take more time to do, and allows you to take on bulk orders that will compensate you in volume, but you might have to sacrifice a little bit on the margin because of that volume. Finally, one other pro tip that I will give you regarding single heads and multi-heads and having a combination of them is that while that's the most common scenario for a lot of successful embroidery shops, I've also seen clients that solely focus on individualized orders only take on single heads as they scale. This is really because the type of orders that they take on as part of their business model and focus really dictates that it's more efficient if they scale with single heads. If you don't have the desire to take on bulk orders of the same logo, maybe 100 to 200 hats of the same exact logo, but you're more focused on individualized items and that's your niche, you might want to consider scaling with single heads because you don't really have a need for multi-heads if you're embroidering different types of logos all the time for individualized orders. So in summary, whether you're just starting out or you're in the process of scaling your business, keeping in mind having single heads and multi-heads in a combination of these machines as you scale will be critical for your embroidery shop's success. Having a combination of single heads and multi-heads will allow your shop to have the versatility and increase your production capability and capacity. The more efficient you can run your production, the less time you'll spend in the lab and the more time you'll be able to spend working on your business and acquiring new orders. If you're interested to check out our lines of single head machines or multi-head machines to start or scale your embroidery business, make sure to click the links down below or the card above to contact one of our representatives. I've also shared some examples of how to increase your efficiency in the embroidery process and how to increase revenue in your embroidery business without much effort. So if you're interested to check out some of those topics, I've also put them down in the description below and in the cards above. If you haven't already done so, make sure to follow us on our social channels down below. We're active on Instagram and on TikTok for some entertaining content. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you found this information helpful, as we have a wide variety of videos and tutorials that can help your business. Last but certainly not least, make sure to join us on our free Facebook group, Embroidery and Custom Apparel Mastery, where there's now over 30,000 apparel decorators in there sharing their tips and tricks of the industry, and you can be a part of the conversation and learn from others. All right, you guys, that's it for us for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.